My name is Sandra LeRae, and I'm an independent consultant for SPEAR, STEM Program Evaluation, Assessment, and Research. I'm also the new director for the Center for Academic Research and Excellence at Chattanooga State Community College. And it's my pleasure to talk to you today about the Quantitative Biology at Community Colleges Network. So we'll jump right in and I'll share with you our agenda. So in the picture, you'll see our first meeting in February of 2020 of the Quantitative Biology at Community College Network, or QB at CC as we call it. So I'll start right away with talking about what is QB at CC. Where can I find the materials? Because that's really important. How do I get to the OER? And then how did this network get started and what have been the impacts thus far? So we're in year 4 of a 5-year funded project. So QB at CC grew out of BioQuest and Cubes, which is BioQuest is a curriculum consortium that's been around since 1986, and Cubes is an online hub for faculty to connect in the development of OER. And the two of them together form what's the BioQuest project, as Cube's primary funding ended in 2021. So they've grouped together, and Quantitative Biology at Community College is just one of the partner projects on the Cubes hub. So where can you find the OER? There's a link at the bottom of the slide and also in the comment section of the video that shows you where you can navigate to find this OER. And we have a menu bar that shows where you can download some of the OER lessons, but these are also cross-posted on OER Commons and OpenStax and other places. So also on the website, you'll notice we have a place for you to put in a wish list of topics that you would like to see in some of the OER developed through QB at CC. And where we got that concept was really from a needs assessment to these concepts and skills, was from a needs assessment that was part of my dissertation research a few years ago that looked at what some of the quantitative skills or math skills community college biology faculty felt that they needed. So the way that we conducted this research is I started with an interview phase where I just met with community college biology faculty that I recruited from conferences to talk to me about what types of materials would be supportive in their classes. And then after analyzing those interviews, I developed a survey inventory, and that was the second phase of the research. These results from the interviews and what I could learn from literature from community colleges helped to design an inventory survey. And I've got about a little over 300 responses from 45 states. And the analysis of the survey information combined with the interviews helped us to develop a professional development model that we could employ in a proposal. So we applied in 2019 to an award from the National Science Foundation for developing a research coordination network, which we call Quantitative Biology at Community College. And this is my pictures of my advisory board going through my survey results way back in 2019 in the development of the project. So our funding came through in 2020. We have a 5-year plan. We're developing OER each year. We have meetings in person, which help have us bring math and biology faculty together from all over the US, and then they continue their work online. So what does it look like? We have a group of people that are called our incubators. Those have been recruited at in-person events and also online events. These are math and biology faculty at community college who incubate or grow lessons together. So we bring them together, we ask them what topics they're interested in, and they meet over a 12-week period online and using the Cubes Hub to store their materials and Zoom to meet, and they build lessons. And then when they have been completed, we pass them along to what we call faculty mentoring network. And these are people who sign up to look at the curriculum and try it in their classroom and give feedback. Their biology, they might be teaching biology classes, they might be teaching math classes, and they make adaptations to the OER and give feedback so that those adaptations can also be published on the CUBE's BioQuest platform to be able to be used by others, and being able to validate and publish at each stage of the design, including adaptations, allows us to be able to serve a wide variety of faculty. So along the way, as the program evaluator for the project and educational researcher, I'm looking for information about OER. So I'm gathering participants in the incubator and the FMNs to see how do they feel about OER and how has that changed over time. So you can see that I'm measuring before and after their participation. And I'm also conducting focus groups and interviews with faculty. So people say when they reflect on the incubator experience, at the beginning, they learn things about quantitative skills they may not have learned before, and how they can look for more deeper and strengthening connections between science. So these are coming from both math and biology faculty. I also ask them how they feel about working in groups. As part of participating in the incubator, they were also engaging in professional development about universal design for learning, backwards design, open pedagogy. So we hear things like, prior to this incubator, I had a much harder time working collaboratively, and the incubator was a great way to get over that. It's a collaborative effort and helped the faculty think more intentional about interdisciplinary work. I mentioned we also conduct focus groups. So we gather information from participants in the incubator, and it really came up in 4 categories. The incubator experience, or how they felt about the math components and how they would fit into the curriculum, how they learned to bridge that divide or gather things together. They appreciated the differences between subject matter, the way things were worded in math classes and biology classes, talking about the language of math and science. Able to think differently about specific topics in math courses, and it reinforced the idea of cross collaboration or working together. And it also helped during this pandemic time when teachers were teaching maybe more online, and how that has continued as the pandemic has continued. Okay, then we have the faculty mentoring networks who are taking the OER that was developed by the incubators and trying it out in their classroom. And you can see that their dispositions towards OER also improved. In particular, how they're willing to, how they're able to find and adapt OER. I've had the chance to see a variety of approaches that I was not previously aware of, including alternatives to traditional lectures. And I'm thinking a lot more about consistent implementation of quantitative skills throughout their courses. Again, their level of agreement to working in groups was similar. They loved having a variety of resources available and being able to work together. Teaching math courses in life science and being able to connect those skills help your students make real world connections. Again, the same thing, the ways of collecting information from the faculty mentoring network through focus groups is also similar. You'll notice that because this is they're making modifications or adaptations, they valued different aspects of the curriculum, the process of making modifications, challenges, and thinking about how this professional development opportunity adds to their portfolio. So when they think about their facilitator, they're excited by everything that they say. The incubators lead the FMNs, and then it's a continuous cycle. It took some time for us to get to know, to the point where we knew what we were going to do, what they were going to test. My students have half of them are saying some go into science fields, some are not, and this was able for them to make connections. And this faculty professional development helps increase their portfolio.